G'day guys, Dom here. So it's been a while since the last shop tour video, and I don't know, I've been working in the shop tonight, and it's getting kind of late, and for some reason I just decided I wanted to do a YouTube video, so take you along for the ride. So I'm going to warn you ahead of time, I'm pretty tired right now, so if I seem a little loopy, there's a good reason for that. But actually, you know what? That's the best time to do a YouTube video, because that's when you have like no inhibitions, and you just say cool shit, or dumb shit more likely, which is more comedically entertaining, hopefully, who knows. Anyway, I'm blabbering. Videos. So first up, this is the area where you kind of film it. I'll put my camera up here, and I'll just film straight down here to, get the intro shots for my build videos. So yeah, it's a bench, a lot like it. This one's got a melamite top with a, I believe it's a pine body. The melamite's good because you can just kind of like wipe it down, but it does like have these little lumps here where water's gotten underneath it, which isn't great. Back up around here, we have a whole bunch of hand tools. I'm pretty sure you guys know what screwdrivers are, so I'm not going to go into that. And here we have a big ball of optimism, as I like to call it. Because I like to plan out my weeks, and I almost never stick to the plan, because it just, I don't know, I put up so much up there, and my body can only take so much. That sounds really wrong. Don't take it that way, internet. Anyway, coming back around here, we have a big drawer of parts. This is mainly folder parts. They got pivots, stop pins, all in their bags, because otherwise I'll lose them. And a whole lot of, let's just call them miscellaneous drawers. Like this one here. For some reason, washers in there. Whole lot of broken taps. One day I'll figure out how to regrind these properly. But until then, I've got a whole collection of the fucked up ones. Back around here, we've got a surface plate. Awesome bit of kit. What is it? No, not die grinder. Arbor press, that's it. I don't know why I thought die grinder. Arbor press, 1 ton, awesome bloody tool. I use it every single day for like straightening liner locks. You can see I'm tired. I'm not making the right words right now. Jesus Christ, English is hard. So yeah, I use it a lot for liner locks, fixed blades, just straightening stock, pressing detents, pressing stop pins. Anything involving pressing, pretty much, as the name suggests, is great for this. You can kind of use a vise, but this is just a lot nicer. And I don't know, I use it every day, and if it broke today, I'd have to go buy a new one tomorrow. Great bit of kit. Got a vise here. Use this thing every day as well. You definitely want a bench vise. It's probably like, if you're starting a knife shop, like the second thing you get after a file is a bench vise. A light, because being able to see things is very important. I cannot tell you how many times I've fixed something or avoided fucking something up because I can actually see what the hell I'm doing. But yeah, light. Back around here, just got a random knife hanging out. You'll see a lot of these in the shop. Kind of be like a, I don't know, let's see how many you can count, because there are knives everywhere in here. Most of them like scrap knives that are just converted into, workshop tools that just lie around. Because I always need a knife. I know I work in a knife making workshop, but I never have a knife in my pocket. It's crazy. What else? Oh yeah, here we got the place where drill bits go to die. This is exclusively fucked up old drill bits that I don't really care about anymore. What else? This thing is actually the first drill press I ever bought. And I like to talk shit about it. It was the cheapest one at the time. It was like, I think it was like 90, maybe $100 at Bunnings. And to be perfectly honest, I'm shocked it's still running. It's quite a few years old at this point. But it works. Never once had an issue with it. The motor gets hot as hell. I mean, you use this if you use this drill press for like 5 minutes, this motor is going to be screaming hot. But besides that, I mean, it works. It's covered in dust all the time. I've taken zero care of it. I mean, I've replaced this plug. I think I cut it off once, and I broke the plug itself once. So the plug has been replaced. I've done a few mods to it. It's got a shitload of spindle run out. But I mean, it works. I can't believe it's still working. I treat this thing like shit. I mean, don't tell the machinist police, but I actually machine things on here, like very odd job stuff. I put an end mill in here and do stuff with it, which is horrendously bad. Do not do that. But it works for like plastic and soft stuff like that, and maybe a bit of wood. And it's still working. I mean, I probably said it like 3 times now that it's still working, but I just cannot believe that it hasn't blown up on me yet. And next to it, something that I regret is still working, is this goddamn sandblasting cabinet. I could make a fucking video purely on how much I hate this sandblasting cabinet. This is another story of me buying the cheapest thing at the time, and I absolutely regret this. And I'm pretty sure this cabinet is infamous just all over the world, because there's just one company that's pumping these things out, and there's just different stickers on them. But I mean, this one leaks. The glass here is totally, not glass, not even glass, it's plastic. After like 5 minutes of sandblasting, this thing is totally screwed. I mean, you cannot see through it. They give you these bullshit little sheets there, but they're completely useless. So, I mean, I've done the really ghetto fix of duct taping glass on top of it, which helps. But I mean, this thing, it's garbage. This is definitely getting replaced this year, without a doubt. At the moment, I'm looking into like maybe a barrel blaster, or I might just fork out the cash and get a really good sandblasting cabinet, because sandblasting's important. And this thing is an absolute piece of shit. I mean, I'm impressed how much it can actually leak. I think this door here might just be decorative, because I honestly can't tell much difference if the door's open or shut. I mean, here you can see I took the grate out, whole lot of sandblasting media. I use a mixed media because I don't know, I find it works better. And the gloves are just totally fucked up as well, and so is the gun. Doesn't feed properly. Just if you get one thing from this video, do not buy this. I know it's tempting. I know you're seeing it, it's like, oh my god, it's only 150 bucks. I could afford this and a compressor and still be under my budget. No. Do not buy this. Do not make my mistake. I'm a dumbass. Do not do it. No. No. I want you to fucking tattoo it on your arm. Do not buy this sandblasting cabinet, because you will regret it. Fuck you. Back around here we have the fan. This was awesome. This was the best thing I ever bought up until I dropped it. And after I dropped it, it's gotten a little bit screwy. It still kind of works, but it's one of the fan fins is bent off and I can't fix it. So it'll kind of like walk itself off a table. It vibrates so much. So that's something I've got to fix. I hope it's still under warranty, because I need a new fan blade for that. So yeah, don't drop your fans. That's not good. But in summer, this is a godsend, and it keeps the dust off you. So I definitely either got to replace this or fix this. Here we have fire, because fire is important. Use it all the time for bending stuff. Up here we have the Dremel. Dremels are a great bit of kit to have in the workshop. I use these all the time. The problem with them though is that they don't last all that long when you're using them constantly. I mean, I might go through a Dremel once every 3 months, because it's constantly getting used. And yeah, the good thing about Dremel though is that you can just take it back to where you bought it, and if it's still under warranty, they'll usually just give you a new one. So I mean, I've gone through like a lot. I've lost track, but it's probably like 6 or 7 Dremels that I've just killed, and I've only paid for one, so I'm happy with that. I've got a whole lot of attachments I never use, and I've always got a fresh Dremel. This one's on its way out. It's still got the switch on this one's failing. Like, you got to tap it to get it started. So I think I'm going to get a new Dremel pretty soon. Next to it, we've got the VFD, which is giving power to this. This is the centerpiece of pretty much every knife maker's workshop. This is my 2x72 grinder, and I absolutely love this thing. This was the first major purchase I ever bought. I mean, at the time, I was terrified shelling out the kind of money I did. I mean, I thought over it for a year, because it's a lot of money. And at the time, I had no money, so definitely glad I got it though. I could not be a full-time knife maker without a 2x72. So onto the grinder itself. This is a Wilmont Little Buddy grinder, or Wilmont LB1000. Except this has been kitted out with a TAG 101 tool rest, 2 horsepower motor, VFD for speed control, all that sort of good stuff. And it's also been mounted on this thing, so you can actually flip it to go horizontal, which is really helpful. I don't use it as much as I used to, but for a lot of like patterns and stuff, it's very helpful. Next to it, we got the disc grinder that has not been hooked up yet. I'm hoping to hook this up to the VFD here and have both of them on the one thing, which would be really nice. The Australian knife community is really big on these. Like, everyone says how great these things are. I don't know, I'm giving it a go. I'm not sure. The main reason I bought this was from flattening handles, so we'll see how it goes. Drill press. This is the second drill press I got. I actually got it for free from a family friend. And this thing, it's a beast. Compared to that little drill press, it drills really nice straight holes. The table does not move once it's adjusted. And it's got more power than I need, so I absolutely love having this thing around. Over here we have what I'm calling the decorative CNC. It's covered up right now because I do not want to cover this thing in dust, because that cannot be good for it. So this is something I bought secondhand off another maker. It is a DM45 manual milling machine that Luke Sheepers converted to work as a CNC. Luke Sheepers of Sheepers Knives, by the way. Great dude. He gave me a really good deal on it, and he's one of the nicest guys I've ever met. So this is something that I'm really pushing towards in 2017. It's I know this is a bit controversial. A lot of guys don't like the idea of knife makers using CNCs. But I mean, the way I look at it, this gives me a huge leg up on this competition. I mean, with this, I can do shit that other makers cannot do by hand. I'm talking intricate inlays. I'm talking pocketing. I'm talking like a patterns engraved into the steel with this. This is going to be some next level shit. Hopefully. I mean, I've had this for a while. I haven't done much with it. But I'm slowly learning. I've just been too busy this year to fuck with this thing. But I've put a bit of time aside for it. And today, actually, I'm starting to cut parts with it, which is really exciting. But I mean, this thing, I'm really excited to get this thing working. I'm definitely having a bit of trouble, fighting with this thing. Mainly because I'm the kind of guy that has an argument with his printer. So this is a lot more complicated than a printer. So it's definitely, it's not my forte, but I'm learning. So we're making progress. And here we have a big box of nerd stuff. This is what controls it. Again, it's also covered up because dust is bad for anything electronical. I don't think that's a word, but we'll pretend it is. Down here we have the bandsaw. You would have seen this in a few videos. It's finally kicked the bucket. I'm pretty sure it was just the switch that fucked up, but I don't know. I replaced the switch and it's still not working, so I don't know. I might try something else that I'm thinking might fix it, and that doesn't work. I'll either just give it away to somebody, see if they can fix it, or I might just do a rebuild and just take the motor off and do a full rebuild, use the frame, make it into a really badass bandsaw. But we'll see. I don't really have time to fuck with this right now. Coming back around here, we have steel. This is some of the steel I have on hand. The rest of it's somewhere else. What is this? Sup 9. This is for a kukri project that's coming up. This is going to be pretty cool. They're all sold out, so don't bother emailing me. Going to film that definitely. And this is going to be for tomahawks or something like that. And 154 cm, that sort of stuff. We have titanium, D2, over here. And I also have this. This could be interesting. What else? Back around here, this is just a table I have right next to here for the CNC. Nice, convenient, measuring stuff. A whole load of blanks, stuff I'm working on, that sort of stuff. Boring shit. Heat treat oven that I sometimes use. Not as much as I used to. I used to use this like every single day, but in recent times I've just gone to outsourcing it. There's a company local to me that does a bang-on job with a heat treat. It's more consistent, it's better quality, and to be perfectly honest, it saves me time and it gives me a better quality product, so I think I'd be an idiot not to use them. But this is good to have every now and then, just to do an odd heat treat job, to do my own tools, that sort of stuff. And yeah. And like, especially for simple steels like 01, this is more than enough. Back around here, this is sort of like a buffing, sharpening, etching station. This is my Franken buffer. It's actually originally a sander. I think it was the second sander I ever had. And it was just totally underpowered, so recently I just kind of took it apart. I switched everything up around, moved it around a bit, and I hooked it up with the buffing wheel. It doesn't spin straight at all, which isn't great, but I don't buff blades in here. This is purely for handles and that sort of stuff. And for that, this is more than enough. And here we have an electro etcher. Had this for a while as well. Great bit of kit. That's what I used to get my logo or maker's mark, whatever you want to call it, into the blade. This is something I had to struggle with for a while, but I think I might have finally figured out how to get a really nice crisp mark every single time, which is nice. If you're going to buy one of these, I don't think you have to get this one. This is a bit overkill, but it's nice to have the power every now and then, especially for something like really like stainless steel, like a ABL, for instance, really has to get a bit of power to mark it properly. And here we have the Widowmaker. This is a paper wheel with a bit of white stuff on it. I use this for sharpening a lot of the low end stuff, like a lot of the keychain cutters, kiridashis, that sort of stuff. It's really quick. Gives a really nice edge as well for the amount of time you put in. It's not as great as a, what's it called? Japanese Waterstone, but it's pretty close, so definitely like having it around. And down here we have Kydex and the strap-on surface grinder from 84 Engineering. A lot of guys thought I made this myself. That is for people with a lot more brain power than I do. I just bought one. It works. It's not as good as an industrial surface grinder, but for the space, this is definitely the way to go. In the future, I definitely want to replace this with an industrial big, 3-phase surface grinder at some point. What else? Over here we have belts, and we have a punching bag here as well, because every now and then you need to punch some shit. Like today, I was working on a folder, had a lot of time in it, like had 2 days of work into it, and I totally fucked it up. So yeah, that's where this comes in handy. It's a lot softer than punching a workbench, believe me. Anyway, I think that's about it. Come back around, here you see a whole lot of stuff. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Yeah, see you on the next one.